2025 Formula 1 season is upon us. F1 75 was last night, launched all 10 liveries, and this is video 1 of 10 going through each and every single one of them, giving my thoughts on what they've created and doing my own interpretation, my own redesign. And in no particular order, we're going to kick things off with Ferrari, the Grazie Ragazzi Merchants. Lewis at the wheel is a vibe, but is the livery? Well, my name's Tommo. Let's talk about it. What was interesting this year is that we got a look at the driver suits before the cars, and the driver suits do typically inform a lot of the design direction that the livery is going to go in. And broadly speaking, it is very similar to last year. I do like the addition of a more kind of deep crimson, kind of maroon colour instead of the red that we got last year. I don't mind that at all. I think that's very smart. And from many an angle, particularly front on, this car looks very similar to last year. A bit more white on the front wing to accommodate the those HP logos. We'll get into it. Look, the elephant in the room, of course, is the big white stripe down the side, which, spoiler alert, on my redesign, which I did start a couple of days ago, I have something very similar. And I was looking at the merchandise, actually. Those jackets, geez, I think one of them's launching today, actually. Unbelievable. They're definitely going to sell out. And I took inspiration, influence from that, and clearly so did Ferrari. We're both singing from the same hymn sheet there. But yeah, it is a bit... The white, you know, I like white in a Ferrari. Okay, I'm not fundamentally opposed to that. You either go all in and put more on that front wing, for example, because you've got a lot on the rear wing, but more on the front wing and a bit more on the side pod. Or you just don't bother and just go with the carbon and the black. Look, compositionally, they've found their place, kind of like Red Bull, kind of like McLaren have as well, in terms of the balance of logos. No Philip Morris brands involved in Ferrari anymore, by the way, which is certainly the end of an era. IBM are on there as well. Full colour blue IBM on the back of the rear wing is a shame. Look, you'd think Ferrari have got enough of a bag. Their stock price is doing bits at the moment, but turns out, you know, they're prepared to take that extra little bit of cash to give HP and IBM their logos in blue, which is a shame. It is a shame. I mean, even if you just change these blues to blacks or reds, there's two options there. And actually, you look at HP's guidelines, blue and white is their corporate colours, and then black and white is marketing. So it's like, well, hang on a second. This is marketing, surely. Just put it in black, it'll look better. And don't worry, I've resolved this in my redesign. Will we get used to it? Probably. It's just a bit of a shame, right? You've got the red, you've got the white, you've got the black, cool. Then you've got the yellow hits from the Shell logo and the Ferrari emblem. That's fine as well. And then just that addition of the blue where it's there and it's just annoying. In terms of sponsor changes from last year, the main addition is UniCredit and IBM. Otherwise, pretty much we're looking at the same plethora of brands on the car. Look, there's a lot of sponsors going on here as well. It is tricky to make it all work and make it all balance. So I don't envy the job of these livery designers who actually put these things to life, right? I can just be a bit more creative. I've got no one telling me what I can and can't do, right? But actually making every single sponsor happy and finding a place and trying to make something that also looks elegant, it's a tough job. So shout out to all my livery designers out there who are actually doing this job for real, not just pretending like I am. What's also great with Ferrari is we've seen the car. It shook down this morning in Fiorano, the actual car itself. Charles at the wheel giving a little wave. And yeah, look, again, I think the white on the side, it's just a bit too much in that one place. If they'd have taken that same amount of white and maybe spread it out across the car, and you'll see what I mean in my redesign, because I've tried to go down a similar kind of direction. It's not amazing. It's a downgrade on last year. I do prefer the fact they've dropped the yellow that they were using last year. Overall, I do think this is worse. However, if I'm going to rank these liveries, well, I'm not going to give it a rating. I think I'm more going to go as like a table. So, well done, Ferrari. You're currently P1 of 1, okay? This is video 1 of 10, so you will fall down this list, I'm afraid. So that's my thoughts on the real thing, but what about my own interpretation? Well, here's my redesign of the 2025 Scuderia Ferrari Formula 1 car. Here she is. What do you think? Okay, where do we start? Right, so sponsor-wise, what I've tried to do is, and this will be the case for some of the liveries, maybe not all. I'm just going to kind of take it as I go, right? I've tried to keep the weighting of sponsors the same in terms of, I guess, you know, what sponsors getting the most airtime to the least. You know, HP are a title sponsor at the end of the day, so they do need to be big and bold and significant on this livery. However, I have taken out the blue, and I've also moved things around. So I put the Shell logo up here instead of down here, moved the HP, basically swapped them around, because why not, right? It's just fun to try something a little bit different, and both logos are still equally prominent on the car as they used to be. Again, just apart from the blue with the HP. Ray-Ban I've kept there, AWS there. I think having, you know, two logos stacked here, the individual logos lose a bit of that pop. And obviously having like the Ray-Ban where they put a bit of a drop shadow on it, and the HP with the black, it makes the AWS stand out a bit more. And then I just think Peroni, IBM, Saver, just spacing them out in this space here using this Racing Studio model that I have, which doesn't have the super, you know, skinny side pods, but I'm working with what I'm working with, and it's a fantastic model, by the way. RacingStudio.com if you want to give it a go yourself. But yeah, as you can see, I've put this kind of swoosh in here, slide. It's much smaller, my one. And I've put the Italian flag in because I just thought that was a nice little touch there. Black fin at the back, Unicredit in the same place. A lot of these logos I've tried to keep in the same area. The big Bang & Olufsen, the big Ferrari at the back, come on, no brainer, looks infinitely better with a big Ferrari at the back instead of IBM. And look, I've moved IBMs up here, all right? So IBM is still prominent on the car. They're paying money to be there. But they're just on the rear wing instead. We've got the HP logos at the back, and you see what I mean, right? Where I've chopped off the top of the circles, but the HP itself is still very legible. It's still not perfect for this space, but I think, and graphic designers maybe call me out on this, right, if you think I'm wrong, but I don't know, I think this, because there's enough of a cut-off, it still looks correct. It doesn't look weird, and it fits that space much better. And the HP logos on that rear wing. And I've then just put a few more HPs around the car because, you know, Ferrari are allowing me, or HP are allowing me to take the blue out. So I'm going to be like, okay, to repay you for allowing me to take the blue out, I'm going to put more logos, more of your logos on the car. So it's front wing end plates, inside of the front wing end plates, for example. Front wing, I've just put a hit of white on the middle, rather than kind of across the length. I felt like this, almost reminiscent of the new front wings we're going to get, where they're going to be much kind of much narrower at the front in terms of where the front wing end plates are anyway, and then it will extend out at the bottom. I'll put some white here on the side as well, and you know what I said about earlier, I think that was too big, having just a big block white there, but then kind of take some of that out and then add it here. Almost before I started putting the logos on, which is maybe it is a bit sacrilege, right, to start with a base design before you put the brand logos on, but I did do that on this instance. And it's interesting because some of these redesigns I will start with the sponsors, which is typically how the actual teams who actually do it, they start with the sponsors and then build a design around it. Well, in this instance, because I knew I wanted to keep it simple, I kind of went in the other direction. Bit of black on the halo. It's nice to kind of break up the colors on the halo. And that would just be exposed carbon. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. I think the lack of blue really does kind of save it, in my opinion. And actually, if I do say so myself, and it is hard to get the Ferrari livery wrong, like really wrong, but and I like to think I have. And also full black wheel covers, I think just make this look just cold. I really do like this one. I think I've started strong this year, again, if I do say so myself. But you are very welcome to disagree, okay? You'll be wrong, but you are welcome to disagree in the comments down below. What do you make of it? What do you think of my Ferrari redesign? What do you think of the real thing? Thoughts and feelings, as always, down below. This is video 1 of 10, so get locked in. I'm enjoying this. This is my favourite time of year. Busy time of the year, but my favourite time of the year. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.